What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel where we speak the truth, we're honest, we give our takes on professional wrestling. It is Wednesday night, March 20th, 2024, and this is your AEW Dynamite review here tonight on the Big Fight Field channel. Now, I know what you're probably saying. Joseph, Rampage is live tonight as well, too. Are you going to be reviewing Rampage? No, I am not. The reason I'm not reviewing Rampage, even though it's live after Dynamite tonight and the card's pretty dang good, but the reason I'm not is because I don't want to ruin the itinerary, the flow, the schedule of the Big Fight Field channel. I want to keep just Dynamite on Wednesday, and plus, I've had a cold for days. I've had a cold since Sunday, and it falls right in line because this was the only video I planned on filming this week because the March Madness tournament starts tomorrow. If you're watching this on Thursday, it starts today, and less is better. I've been down with a cold since Sunday, and I'm powering through this show review. I watched the show tonight. The show was awesome. I love Dynamite. But I'm going to power through this review because I have a cold. I don't sound great. But we are going to do what we can do. And we're going to do what we always do, is we're going to be honest and we're going to be truthful. We're going to be talking about AEW. Look how awesome this show was tonight. Just look at the, I guess we can call it, look at the setup of the show. Look at the star power this show has now. And everything means something on this show. You started off the night with Mercedes Moné. You then went into a match that involved Kazuchika Okada versus Eddie Kingston. You then went into a match with Chris Jericho and Hook. Don't really care about the storyline, but seems like they're doing something big for Hook, and Hook got himself a big win tonight. And it's going to mean something because he's got a segment with Chris Jericho next week. You got Toni Storm and her match tonight, the tag team match. Didn't really care about the match, but it's a big story coming out of that match, and we're going to talk about that. I gave my thoughts on that on Twitter, and her versus Thunder Rosa, that's an intriguing feud. It intrigues me, and there's stories to be told. So we go from that. After the Jericho match, we get a Will Ospreay interview. Then we get the Toni Storm match. Then we get a Swerve match. And then we get the main event, Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage. The star power on this show is ridiculous. It's unbelievable. And I know I'm a broken record every week saying AEW is the best roster in the world, so I'm not going to say it again. But for 3 weeks in a row now, this show, everything, and I mean everything, matters. Ever since after Revolution, it's almost like they've changed the entire show. And the show before it was good. But this new presentation of Dynamite is fucking awesome. I want to talk about the main event real quick before we get into this show. What a surreal moment. Seriously. I think this will go down as one of the best moments of Adam Copeland and Christian Cage's career. They are two real-life best friends who get to main event a wrestling show together in their home city of Toronto for a championship in an I Quit match. That had to be a surreal moment for both Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. And they went out on top with this 5-month-long feud with Adam Copeland winning the TNT Championship. His first singles championship in 11 years. He did not win a championship when he came back to WWE in 2020. He has been in AEW for almost 6 months now, and he's technically a 2-time TNT champion. The first time he was the TNT champion for 5 minutes. And now he's actually the TNT champion. I don't know what he does next, but you could have not asked for a better start to have a long, story-driven feud with your best friend. I imagine these two have been dreaming about this for years. They've been partners for so long. But how about a feud together? A long-term feud together. 5 months from Wrestle Dream to tonight. And it culminated beautifully, man. And when AEW was extremely cold at the end of 2023, the one feud that kept my interest in the show, outside of Swerve and Hangman, but this was after Full Gear. That stretch from after Full Gear to the end of the year was bad for AEW. It was really bad. But the only engaging things to keep you excited about the product was the Continental Classic and the feud between Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. And all their matches, from the first match in Montreal, where Christian Cage retained the TNT Championship, to the second match at World's End, where Adam Copeland won the no disqualification match, and then Luchasaurus cashed his contract in, gave it to Christian, and Christian won back the TNT Championship. And then to tonight, where Adam Copeland and Christian Cage ended off their 5-month-long feud in an I Quit match in Toronto. You could have not asked for a better start to AEW for Adam Copeland. And now he's the TNT champion. Again, where he goes after this, who he's feuding with after this, I don't know. Where does Christian Cage go from after this? I don't know. But do you guys remember, I would say a year ago, when Wardlow was the TNT champion and Powerhouse Hobbs took the title from him and they were going flip back and forth between the TNT championship? How irrelevant that title was. Christian Cage got the TNT championship back to where it needed to be for 9 months, and for that, I respect him for that. Because I've been complaining for years before Christian was the TNT champion that championship means jack shit. And look where it's at now. A year ago, this title was on Wardlow, who, he's a good wrestler, big guy. I don't think anyone takes serious anymore. I know after last week, I don't take Wardlow seriously anymore. And now look where the TNT Championship's at. Main eventing a Dynamite with 2 Canadians, 2 best friends. That's where you want that championship to be. I'm so happy for Adam. I'm so happy for Christian that they got to do this match tonight. And it got the ending that it deserved, which was Adam Copeland winning the TNT Championship in Toronto. We are going to go over the rest of the show. Again, like I said, I'm not reviewing Rampage because I don't want to ruin the schedule of the channel, and, I've been battling with a cold this week, and I just don't feel like sitting here for an hour talking about a 3-hour wrestling show when I'm sick. So I'm powering through this one, and we're going to make the best of it. We are going to make the best of it. Be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. I'm taking the rest of this week off after tonight. We'll be back with fresh new content next week. And I think next week is going to be a light schedule as well, because that following week is WrestleMania week. And it's going to be absolute chaos. That whole week, and especially the weekend. That is going to be chaos with the content that I have. So I think these next 2 weeks are going to be very light content. You might get 1 to 2. This week you're going to get 1 video. Next week you might get 1 to 2 videos. But then the following week, it's going to be chaos. So we're trending lightly for the next 2 weeks before we get to WrestleMania. So be sure to subscribe. And let's get into Dynamite, man. Mercedes Moné, she opened up Dynamite tonight. She talked about how 10 months ago her wrestling career almost got taken away from her in a match with Willow Nightingale, where she had a knee injury that was career-threatening. And thankfully, she was able to recover from that and get back to the shape that she is in right now. I don't think she's had a match since that knee injury. And I think Dynasty would be a great destination for her to have her first match back. Her first match in 11 months. That's a long time. So there's going to be rust in there, but they're going to do more than just put her in the ring and talk. But I think Dynasty would be the perfect destination for her first match back in 11 months in professional wrestling. So she talks about Willow Nightingale, and then she talks about Julia Hart and Sky Blue. And she says, if you get in my cross path, I'm going to make you go bankrupt, because the CEO runs the women's division. So the lights go out, and Julia and Sky are there, and they get 2-on-1, attacking Mercedes Moné. And out came Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander for the save with chairs. And while they were staring down Julia Hart and Sky Blue, Willow was standing behind Mercedes Moné, acting like she was about to hit Mercedes with the chair. And Mercedes was very pissed at Willow. She walked away very frustratedly. Chris Statlander had to talk some sense into her, and they did a backstage segment with Stat and Willow to promote their Rampage match, a street fight against Julia Hart and Sky Blue. And Mercedes came on. And Chris Statlander got right into her face and thanked her for saving Willow last week. And then Mercedes repaid the favor. She said, "Thank you for saving." She said, "Thank you for saving me tonight." And Statlander walked off, and Willow tried to do the same thing, and she says, "Nope, I've had enough of you." So Mercedes is mad at Willow, and I think that's going to be her first match in AEW at Dynasty against Willow Nightingale. I don't know what's going to happen tonight with the street fight. Statlander might turn tonight. I got a feeling that Statlander might turn on on Willow Nightingale tonight. So then we go to the first match of the night. Eddie Kingston defending the Continental Crown Championship against Kazuchika Okada. Now, I get sense that a lot of American wrestling fans aren't as familiar with Okada. This is a classic Okada match. This match wasn't his best match ever. This match probably wasn't a 5-star match, but this is a classic Kazuchika Okada match where the first couple minutes are very slow. And he likes wrestling slow in the beginning of his matches. And then at the end, the pace really picks up. And that's what it was with this match against Eddie Kingston. I think Eddie Kingston held his own in there against Okada. Okada's chest was nearly purple, but you knew from the moment where Okada turned on Eddie Kingston, he turned heel on Eddie Kingston to join the Young Bucks, to join the EVPs, that sooner rather than later, Okada was going to take this Continental Crown title away from Eddie Kingston. And I thought maybe they build it up and they would save this for Dynasty. We did not save it for Dynasty. We got this tonight. And I think Okada is the fastest wrestler in AEW to sign and almost immediately win a championship. He beat Eddie Kingston with the Rainmaker, and he beat Eddie Kingston clean as a whistle. There's no interference in Continental Crown Championship matches. Okada beat Eddie clean in the middle of the ring. One Rainmaker after about a 20-25 minute match, because it's a 60-minute time limit for championship matches. One Rainmaker, and Eddie Kingston lost. So now Eddie Kingston, he's no longer the Continental Crown Championship. He's no longer holding that title. He's defending the Ring of Honor title April 5th against Mark Briscoe. I think he's going to lose that match. And looks like we're going on a downward spiral here for Eddie Kingston in this match. So we go from that to let's see, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho against Hook. Hook wins with a surprise roll-up. Thought the match was good. And next week, Jericho, he is giving Hook a proposition. Will Ospreay came out to the ring next after Jericho and Hook's match. He's out there with Tony Schiavone again. And he says, I thought I had all to say about Bryan Danielson until he wrestled Katsuyori Shibata on Collision. Now, if you did not watch that match, I would certainly go and check that out. I thought the match was fantastic. There was a controversial spot that, of course, the internet hates because wrestling fans almost hate everything that AEW does. And that was the spot where Danielson and Shibata were sitting crisscross ahead of each other and slapping each other in the face and slapping each other in the neck. And a lot of people didn't like that. But the match was fantastic. I would advise you to go check it out. Will Ospreay said, I thought I had everything to say about Bryan Danielson until the match with Shibata. And he talked about me not being able to fill your shoes. And let me tell you a story how when I wrestled in New Japan, I was a New Japan Cup champion, 3-time New Japan Junior Heavyweight champion, 2-time Never Openweight champion, and a world champion in New Japan. While you did great things, he said, bruv, I don't think you could fill my shoes. And when I was in Japan with you, and I saw your shoes in the locker room, I tried fitting them on, and I couldn't fit your shoes on because your feet were too small. Not because they were too big, but they were too small. So that's a shot that, I'm better than you and stuff. And then he challenged Shibata to a match. And we're getting Shibata versus Will Ospreay next week on Dynamite. That should be fantastic. That should absolutely be fantastic with Shibata and with Will Ospreay. Toni Storm and Mariah May against Thunder Rosa, and I'm checking Rampage results on my phone, so that's why. Orange Cassidy and Trent defeated the Don Callis family in the first round of the tag team tournament. So there's that. Surprised by that one, actually. I don't really want to talk about this match. The match was fine. Thunder Rosa got the win over Toni Storm. So clearly they are doing a feud between Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm. Thank goodness, because I don't think anyone is interested in another Deonna Purrazzo Toni Storm match. I mean, my goodness, man. I got something to say about this Deonna Purrazzo. I know we're about to turn Chris Statlander heel. AEW is about to turn Chris Statlander heel against Willow Nightingale. But I don't think it would be a bad idea to turn Deonna Purrazzo heel as well. I mean, she's getting no reaction for her entrance. Absolutely none. She is not over as a babyface. I don't know what it is, but so far, I don't know if it's me, but Deonna Purrazzo is not clicking with this audience, and I don't know what the problem is. It seems like they could be in the direction for another Deonna Purrazzo Toni Storm match. I hope not, because I don't really care about it. But a Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm match does intrigue me, whether that happens at Dynasty or that happens at Double or Nothing. And there's stories to be told there. We've already told the story with Deonna and Toni. We've been there and done that. Let's get Thunder Rosa into the mix now. You got two stories to tell. Number one, Thunder Rosa never lost the AEW Women's Championship. And who won the championship when Thunder Rosa had to vacate? It was Toni Storm, under an entire different gimmick. It was Toni Storm who won the championship when Thunder Rosa had to vacate. And you could tell the story about Thunderstorm, when Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa were a tag team at a portion at a time in AEW before Thunder Rosa got hurt. So, there's stories to be told there. And I think a match between Thunder and Toni would be better than a match between Deonna and Toni. Again, it's certainly more interesting. So, but Thunder pinned Toni tonight. So I do think they're going for a match there. Swerve, he had a backstage interview with Renee. He did an open challenge. It was answered by the Butcher. He defeated the Butcher in about 7 minutes. Then he called out Samoa Joe. He said, you can bring security guards, you can bring handcuffs, but it's not going to stop me until I get what I want, which is a shot at the AEW World Championship. Joe comes out, and he talks about how to deal with people like Swerve. So Joe is cutting this promo, and just as Joe's about to go in the ring and attack Swerve, who comes out but Don Callis. Ugh. Don Callis comes out, and he talks about Swerve's house. This is not Swerve's house. This is the Don Callis family's house. And in this house, Takeshita, outside of the Don Callis family, because he lost to Ospreay at the pay-per-view, is undefeated. So what they did here, they challenged the Don Callis family. Takeshita challenged Swerve Strickland to a match next week. So we are getting Takeshita versus Swerve next week on Dynamite. So next week, you are getting Takeshita versus Swerve. You're getting the Young Bucks versus Private Party in the tag team tournament. And you're getting Will Ospreay versus Katsuyori Shibata. This I cannot wait for next week, man. Main event. If you guys can't tell, I'm kind of rushing because I'm pushing through with this review. The main event. Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage. Everything about this was incredible. When Copeland's theme music stopped, the Toronto crowd continued singing his song in unison. And I don't think I've ever heard a crowd sing Adam Copeland's song without the theme song playing. And then, of course, Christian Cage's theme song starts playing, so he ruined the moment. What an asshole. So this match starts, and these guys are brawling on the outside. And this was very on early in the match, and this was actually one of my favorite moments of this match. Or actually, I think this is after the picture-in-picture break. I don't remember where it was, but still, it was one of my favorite moments of the entire match. They're fighting in the crowd, and there's a penalty box. Hockey is very popular in Canada, and Edge loves his hockey. I'm sure Christian Cage does as well. The Canadians love their hockey. In Canada, hockey is the most popular sport. So Adam Copeland has a Boston Bruins jersey, and he puts it onto Christian Cage. And the crowd starts booing the shit out of Christian Cage because he's wearing a Boston Bruins jersey. Adam Copeland, he puts on a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. Crowd goes absolute apeshit crazy. And they are fighting in the penalty box. That was one of my favorite spots of the entire match. And then they're back in the ring. And the ladder is shaped up like a V. And in the middle is the bridge thing. To set the ladder, Copeland suplexed Christian Cage forward onto that ladder. Onto that bridge. I've never seen anything like that. With a ladder. I've never seen a ladder be used like that. Then we go to the other picture-in-picture break. These guys are using chairs and tables. Christian jumps off the top rope to put Adam Copeland through the table on the outside. Copeland comes up all busted open after the table spot. Then these guys are brawling up on stage, and we go to picture-in-picture. And we come back. He throws Christian Cage off the stage, and there's a hockey net right there, and sticks. And Copeland throws Christian Cage into the hockey net, starts hitting him with a stick, but forgets to bring the stick to the ring. And as he's walking back to the ring, here comes Mama Wayne. Here comes Shayna Wayne. And she low blows Adam Copeland with the hockey stick. And then, later on in the match, Christian, he grabs 2 chairs. He has a normal chair, and then the other chair has barbed wire wrapped around it. He misses the concerto shot. Edge counters it into a spear. He then has the crossface on with a lace, part of his outfit, I believe they said it was. They said, "Do you want to quit, Christian?" And as soon as he's about to say, "I'm quit," here comes Luchasaurus, and here comes Nick Wayne. But not far behind was Daniel Garcia and Daddy Magic, and they had a plan. Adam Copeland had a plan with Daniel Garcia and Daddy Magic that they were going to handcuff Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne, and Christian Cage to the ropes, and none of them could move. All 3 of them were handcuffed, and Adam Copeland brings out Spike. But before he brings out Spike the Bat, he low blows Christian Cage 3 times, and then he brings out Spike, and he hits Christian Cage with Spike down low. And then as he's about to swing it over the head, Christian goes, "I quit." This was the best non-Will Ospreay match of the entire year. And it's probably a match that I would go back and I would watch. Absolutely. Kudos to all the participants throughout the feud in this match. I'm sure Adam Copeland owns Daniel Garcia a TNT Championship match now. And I can't wait to see what happens next, man. But that's all I got for you guys tonight. I am getting out of here, man. I'm going to rest for the entire week, and I'm going to watch a lot of basketball. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. Comment down below your thoughts on tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. Hit the like button and follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. And I will see you guys next week. Have a good one. Stay safe. And as always, man, stay classy. And I'm out. Peace.